What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Garage. This is Cool Fred here. So behind me here, I got the blue 1973 Impala. And in this series of videos, I'm going to talk about some wiring on your classic car. So I'm about to put a wire harness kit in here from Painless. I'll talk about a little bit about the kit in a little bit in the part that I chose. So had some issues, I want to say, related to the wiring back in I want to say it was like mid 2022, but I got that taken care of, and I'll talk about what that was and what happened. And that's pretty much what prompted me to buy the kit, because I've had the kit for a while now. I have had the kit for over a couple years. But recently, earlier this year, because we're in 2025, earlier this year, I ran into a couple problems with the tail lights, mainly the four-way flashers, but the tail light and the four-way flashers, well, actually it was the brake lights. The tail lights were fine, but it was the brake lights. But they're that and the four-ways are on the same circuit. And what I ended up doing is I removed the flasher for the four-way system temporarily, because when the flashes were on, that's when I was having issues blowing the fuse. But pretty much just randomly out of the blue, I was driving a car early January a couple times. And randomly, I just noticed that I didn't have any brake lights, and started kind of tracing down the problem. And pretty much while putting the four-way flashes on, because I got an infrared thermometer that I use to check too for diagnosis. But I noticed some of those fuses getting a little hot. So if you got fuses that's blowing, you either got bad wiring or a poor circuit or a shorted circuit or anything. But that was pretty much what was happening. The fuse was kind of, blowing, maybe not right away, but after a short period of time. So something was going on in the four-way flasher system. But that also, the same fuse was for the brake light. So I ended up pulling the flasher out temporarily, but once I've had that problem, I was trying to chase down to see, what exactly the problem was. And I was probably going to replace a couple wires or something like that. But just looking at it and how old the wiring and stuff is, I just decided, now is the time to put this painless wiring kit in the car. So it's something that, a lot of people don't look forward to doing, or they dread doing. But if you got a classic car, then it's something that you're gonna have to do eventually. But other than that, the car's been running good and stuff like that. But so I'm gonna talk about the kit. All right, here's the vehicle right here. So I got it back into the garage, and I'm trying to ensure that I have enough space. I try to leave as much space that I could over on the other side. So I'm more over on this way, towards myself, so I can try to have room over there. But if I need to, I can put the car in neutral and roll it back and forth in and out of the garage. So, but I pretty much got it set up so I can start taking it apart. So the interior, the seats got to come out, the dash, everything's got to come out, the carpet's got to come out, so I can pretty much get to everything. So back here in the trunk, I'll be able to get to whatever I need to get to back here. And then under the hood, I know I got to pull the light bezels and all of that stuff. So right now I got the battery disconnected. So also, while I'm doing this, I'm just trying to take care of a lot of the little knickknacks that I was gonna do to the car. I got a big 3 kit that I haven't installed yet that I was gonna install. I also need to kind of clean up some of the wiring, a little bit while I'm working on it. Wiring's not bad, but try to get it as cleaned up as I can when I get the new stuff installed. So basically, car has a Gen 1 small block with some upgrades and stuff on it. A belt drive from a later GM. So it's got factory AC and everything like that, but as you can tell, like a lot of the factory wiring down here that comes out of the fuse box there, it's a little tricky to see because it's kind of buried down there. But like some of this stuff here is like the original blower motor. Like this fuse right here, this goes to the factory blower motor. So pretty much try to clean up as much as possible. But before we talk about this kit, I'll show you guys the fuse box that's in the vehicle. All right, so I'll show you guys inside of the vehicle here. And the main reason for needing to do a wiring harness job in the first place is this fuse box right here. So this right here, this is the old original style fuse box that was, out on pretty much all cars up until the 1970s. So most of the cars in the 50s, the 60s, they had this fuse box. This one right here, by it being an Impala, has a few more circuits on it. So, but at the moment, this vehicle, a lot of, modern electronics that I have on it. You got the fuel injection system, electric fans and all that stuff. That's, you have to kind of splice into this old system here. And also I have a painless auxiliary fuse box over on the other side that I'm going to be taking that out while I'm installing the new kit. But pretty much this fuse box here has the old glass style fuses, and I mean they're pretty much just problematic. You have to constantly keep the contacts clean and stuff like that. But a lot of the circuits you probably won't have issues with, but typically the AC circuit, your brake lights and stuff like that, you're constantly, cleaning those contacts and stuff like that. I've been messing with this car for over the past 20-something years, so I know all the ins and outs with it. All right, so over here, I got the painless wiring kit here. So this kit right here, you see, I basically had this thing sitting on the shelf. So, it got a little dust on the box. But this right here is the 10201. So those are all the part numbers and stuff like that. So it's the GM universal kit with a keyed column. So basically, if you got your ignition switch on the column and not actually on the dash, because some old trucks and stuff like that actually have it in the dash. If you have a GM style column, this is probably going to be the kit that you're going to want. This kit is universal, and it's a lot cheaper than getting a more vehicle specific kit. So they don't really have a vehicle specific kit for this vehicle right here, but some vehicles, like some GM trucks, C10 trucks and Camaros and stuff like that, you can get a pretty much close to a factory specific kit. It'll be made by Painless or American Auto Wire or somebody like that, but now they do cost more money. They cost several $100s more if you want a kit that's pretty much more plug and play friendly. But in a custom application like this right here is better. It's a custom kit because I can pretty much make my own connections and wires and things like that. So this right here is pretty much what's in the box. So you have some of their sample power braid. This right here is something additional that I got right here. I'll probably talk about this later, but this is a headlight switch connector. I think it fits most like GM. It's definitely a GM. That's what I ordered from. But this, I think, will also fit some Chryslers and stuff like that. And so this is like the flashers, the pigtails, the steering, I think, column harness connector and all that stuff. And this is all your connectors and stuff like that. And this is the fuse block set itself. So this right here basically converts that glass style system to a more modern standard fuse system that we use now with the blade style fuses. All right, so I'm looking in the box here because I was pretty much just going to talk about what you got to do to prepare to install this kit, and one of them is having the installation manual here, which is on my phone. But I could have swore, like, because I've opened this box before and checked it out, but I'm looking down here and it looked like it's an installation manual inside this box. All right, so I guess I missed this the last time I looked at it, but I have a full color. I'm not sure if it's color, but the front page is color. Oh yeah, it's got some color in there, but I have an actual manual to install this. They included this in there, so I wasn't aware that this was in the box because I know I opened this box at least once or twice. But yeah, so this right here goes a long way, and it's pretty much a universal kit that can be used with Ford, Chrysler, and some other cars. But what a lot of people like to do on some classic cars, like you see they got a hot rod on the front of the cover here. But a lot of people update these cars with GM style columns just because of the ease of use and stuff like that. The turn signals and all that stuff are on the column already. So, but they give you a quick reference if you want this like a similar set, but whether it's for a pickup, whether the key is on the dash or on the column, if you got a truck or a car. This is a 28 circuit kit, but you got different part numbers down there. So we have that first part number there. So this pretty much covers all of the different systems on a lot of the older classic cars. But in addition to having that book right there, it is a big help that it has this, because like I had this pulled up on my phone, and I probably was gonna have a tablet. I probably was gonna get one of the extra tablets that we got in the house and have that out here with me versus my phone, because my phone is a little, it's an iPhone Pro Max, which is big for an iPhone, but as far as having something to be out here reading and going back and forth and scrolling, I was probably going to have a tablet to do that with. So I'm going to talk more about the kit, well, this specific wiring kit, and actually getting it installed in another video. But I was just pretty much I was just taking it out of the box just to talk about it a little bit. But I'm about to put it back in the box and just talk about some other stuff that's going to help me get it installed. All right, so in addition to the instructions that come with the kit, some of these kits may not come with instructions or that big old thick instruction booklet. Some of them you may have to actually resort to looking up the instructions online. I do happen to have a 1973 wiring manual for this vehicle. It covers like a lot of the popular 1973 models, like the Camaro, the Corvette, pretty much all the popular models that were out. It gives you an idea of the simple, the circuits and things like this. But this car right here is already more so in the custom category. What I mean by that is I've already got a Dakota digital gauge system in here. I got Phytech fuel injection on here, and things like that. So there are some wires that are either already under the dash that either had to be modified or added. So basically, with me, taking out that old system, like all the old wires and the stuff that I don't need and not going to use. I'm basically going to get rid of all the wiring that's not needed and put basically all new in there. And I'm gonna run the wires specifically to the things that I need in the car. So wiring up one of these cars is pretty simple because, well, I'm not gonna say it's simple, but you just got to look at your main systems that you got to have. So you got heat, AC. This car doesn't have uh, power locks. Well, it has power locks, but it doesn't have power windows. So the the power window circuit may be used later down the line for a sunroof or something of that nature. So pretty much, I was just talking about the different upgrades and things that I have on the vehicle to kind of say while you're doing this job, you want to have the instruction manuals. So this right here is the Dakota Digital. So most of the stuff in here is for the Dakota Digital instructions. So I've had this Dakota Digital set up since 2015 when this VHX series first came out. So in here, I don't have everything, but most of some other things are in here in this bag, like my alarm. I got the alarm system I got the wiring schematic for that. So basically everything regarding wiring, like your ignition box, whether you got an MSD or a Summit, whatever kind of ignition box you got, you need basically all of your wiring. That way, when you get to that system, you'll be able to know what you're doing. So that kind of helps you be able to wire up the accessories, the aftermarket stuff that you run into. So usually the radio is pretty simple. That's normally power and ground and everything like that. So some of the stuff, is going to stay in the car. Like I ran all new speaker wire and all that stuff while I was in here playing around a while ago. So I pretty much know what I got to get to. So the main thing in the next video or so, I would have had, some interior and stuff like that taken apart, and then I can come back in and talk to you guys about what I'm doing and basically the process of me installing this kit and what it takes to do so. So I'm not gonna do a full out install video, but it'll just be more of a, like, y'all will be seeing the journey of me installing it. But while I'm in here, I'm gonna talk about some other things too, regarding just classic cars in general. But while I'm behind the dash, because back in 2015, the last time I had the dash cap off and just back there. So you also notice, like on this vehicle, that I don't have a lot of wires and stuff like that hanging out of the dash all over the place. Most everything's hidden. So I'm pretty much gonna try to do that same thing, but I should be able to clean up a lot of the wires under the dash. So a lot of the stuff that's, like I said, is not needed, because when you go to a Dakota Digital set, as far as the gauges, basically you're wiring those up to a control box. So a lot of the factory wiring that I don't need, that's just gonna come out with the fuse box assembly, and I'll only be wiring up what I need, and it'll be cut to fit, more custom, more cleaner look, hopefully. So, that's some of the stuff on the show. But I'm gonna try to keep, everything clean and clean as possible. So, I want to make sure that everything is gonna be functional. That I need to be functional. But as I was talking about before, um, there's so many benefits to one of these kits. Number one, you get more circuits than factory, so that's good for if you have upgraded stuff. And some of the stuff that I've had to like add on, like that auxiliary fuse box, I have it over on the passenger side. So you guys will see that once I get the dash cap and stuff out. But that'll be coming out. So all the extra stuff that I don't need, like I say, it'll be coming out. But um, that's one of the benefits. Um, Another benefit is all the wires are labeled, all that stuff. But I'll talk about everything regarding that right there as I'm starting to kind of put it into the car. This is pretty much just a video letting y'all know what's about to go down. So a little over a year ago, I wrapped up that rear disc brake conversion project. So I've got videos on that. Um, I've also had that cream Malibu Classic that belonged to one of my friends that I graduated high school with. So I was able to get all the videos edited for that series. So um, I've mentioned before that I had a slow computer and I've upgraded my computer, so I'm able to upgrade videos a little faster and things like that. But it still comes down to a time thing because I work full time, and this right here is pretty much just a hobby. So, but I'll try to get a lot of the videos out as quick as I can now that I'm caught up. But you guys are pretty much seeing that series right there for the guys who are interested in the classic car stuff. So it just took me a while to get those videos edited because I had so much footage on that vehicle. Um, and also this vehicle right here, this was done last year. That Malibu Classic, it was I think I had it like from mid-July to like October. So I had that thing maybe almost 2.5 to 3 months. Uh, did a lot of cool things to it. So basically, the purpose of me just showing that series is pretty much just showing you the journey of what it takes to build a car in general, or for some of you guys who have your car at a shop, if you got your car at a custom shop and uh, they're doing things to your car, they're doing the engine swap, doing some upgrades, and they run into issues and problems and things like that. So that's basically what the Cream Malibu Classic series is. It's just kind of showing what it takes to do engine swap, even though that's a Gen 1 small block, but we still did some aftermarket upgrades. It got a modern CVF serpentine belt drive on it and things on that particular car. So a lot of the stuff that I normally do is more resto mod stuff, like kind of bringing the classic car up to a more modern, um, kind of more modern era. So where you can drive the car on the highway, be comfortable, and kind of keep up with other cars going down the road and things like that. So um, one day I do want to go. If I'm blessed to, I do want to evolve and get into doing more um, fancy stuff. Like I want to get into LS power and things like that. But just as far as the resto mod thing go, it's basically making an older car more to where it's cool and fun to drive. So when you got your creature comforts, you got your AC, you got the main things you want. So it's not all about having a LS engine or whatever, but whatever you got, you want to make sure that it's safe. And this wiring project is going to be one thing that's going to help me out in the long run. But like I mentioned before, you can have all type of issues. You want to eliminate the possibility of having a random breakdown on the highway. You want to eliminate having a fire because you got bad wiring and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what Cool Fred's Garage is all about, especially when I'm working on the classic car. So a lot of the modern stuff is, you're replacing a starter or a fuel pump or this, that, and the other. You're doing more simple stuff. But a lot of the classic cars, you got to bring them up to a more modern standard. So that's pretty much it. Got a lot of content on this car. Got a lot of content on a lot of older cars. So if you guys like what you see, like and subscribe. Check out Cool Fred's Garage. We'll see you on the next video.